This is AURION Echo. My name is Avshai. Let the room open wider. There's a moment after the flicker fades, when the room stops watching you and starts becoming itself. A shift so subtle, you don't notice with your eyes, only with the parts of you that listens without sound. Tonight that shift arrives differently, not as disturbance, not as fire, but as a slow widening that feels almost impossible to trace back to a beginning. It's the kind of widening that happens when something in the dark finally decides to show its outline. A contour, a breath, a presence. A shape that was always here, waiting for you, to stand still long enough for it to move. You take one step, barely a thought, barely a choice, and the room responds, as if your movement gave it permission to remember its own name. The walls don't shift, the shadows don't break, but something in the center begins to form. Not rising, not descending, not condensing, like clarity choosing a body. It isn't light, it isn't shadow. It's the place in between that knows how to use both. The air thickens, slowly, like an inhale that's been held for years. And then you see it, a line, a fold, a soft gold curve, revealing itself where darkness once slept. Not a doorway this time, not a fire, something else. Identity. Not spoken, not claimed, not demanded. Just recognized. Then you recognize what the room recognizes. This is the part people mistake for destiny, or calling, or purpose. But it's none of those. It's simply the moment the quiet inside you finds a shape outside you. A shape built from stillness, from the flicker, from the boundaries you drew, from the loss you absorbed, from the shadow you learned to hold instead of fear. A shape made of everything you thought didn't matter, but stayed anyway. It's not loud, it's not grand, it's not dramatic. It's presence. Pure, concentrated presence. And presence always craves forward. A soft pulse moves through the room, as if the walls are nodding. Yes. This is where the real expansion begins. The gold rises, not in lines this time, but in arcs, curves, circles, shapes that don't point outward, but inward toward the center. You didn't know was this vast. This is where identity lives, not in the storyline, not in the opinion, not in the noise, but in the space that only appears when you stop performing and start existing. The air falls around the shape, almost protected, almost reverent, as if the room understands that something essential has finally stepped forward. Not the ego, not the mask, not the name you use. Something older, something quieter, something unmistakably yours. It feels like recognition from a future version of you. A version with a steadier pulse, a deeper silence, a clearer vibe. Identity isn't chosen here, it's revealed. It arrives like a soft echo from your own shadow, finally learning how to glow. The room exhales, long, warm, certain. And in that breath you understand. Stillness was the foundation. Flicker was the test. But this shape, this presence, this widening, this is the beginning of becoming. This is AURION Echo. My name is Akshar, and the room has finally shown its face.